Dana Small and Laurie Stepp with the Smithsonian Mobile app, and later Karen Milburn with Artists in Dialogue.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the AR feature in the Smithsonian Mobile app, and I'm hoping that everyone has downloaded the Smithsonian Mobile app.
And if not, you're not leaving this room until you do.
Right, because AR, you can't see it on a website. I don't even have any 2D images other than the proposal. This was in response to a women's committee grant. Nancy and I proposed a little AR piece in a layer in the Smithsonian Mobile app. My feeling about AR is you work with what you have that you know works. So the original idea was to make it look like Yelp, sort of, showing research at the Museum of Natural History. So it's a way to turn that museum inside out and let people know that this is really about research, and it's not just a museum, which is an enduring problem across the institution. So the Women's Committee said, great, let's try it. It was really sort of proof of concept, but it's in that mobile app now. If you look under Start Exploring, there's a layer that says, yeah, maybe we can just plug that iPad in. There's a layer that says Smithsonian that way. Working with what we had meant there's Wi-Fi outside on the mall that's good. We'll have to worry about it inside so much. There was really a lack of developers, really sophisticated developers available, so nothing too fancy. Nothing that's going to really call on an illusion, because illusion in AR is a really difficult thing to get it just right. So this is basically, I always propose Yelp with, little white squares with an image and some text to say, there's Arctic research, there's entomological research. Well, one of my lessons learned is to be a little more specific in my grant proposal. I said, we'll just work with the natural history database and get the information out of the natural history database. And there is no natural history database of research. I was floored. We went to and met with the Senate of Scientists, and they were like, do you want to make the database of research? Because we don't have one. So there was really nothing to pull from. It was really, I was really taken by surprise. But it was interesting, and another lesson for me is don't make assumptions about people. The Senate of Scientists was actually really intrigued by the idea, and they were saying, can you, add content for people to look at the petrified wood outside? And I mean, they were interested. But, a friend at Natural History said, do you realize there are tens of thousands of research projects? How are you going to do this? So the first change in iteration, it became libraries and archives to show people up and down the mall, instead of everything clustered at natural history anyway, which would look really out of balance. To, you hold up your phone, you look, and you're seeing things up and down the mall. Dana, do we have is the iPad available to demo?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it.
Yeah, but really it's best on your own mobile device. Just try it. So you're looking up and down the mall, and you're seeing geolocated with latitude and longitude all of the libraries, archives, museums, and then we added affiliates, so that no matter where you are, I'd love to be able to share, because we got into filtering out. It was too much information. Thank you. Great. Okay. Do you have the mobile app here?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, it's not that one.
Okay. Sorry. I have an iPad that doesn't have a camera, so it's pointless with
plug
AR.
this into the projector. Thanks. Have you got it on that version there, Valeria? Is it on that iPad? Let's use this one because it's not got a case on it.
So when we went to name the layer, we realized this was very iterative and a lot of changes. We went to name the layer. What do we call it? We wanted to call it What's Here. So what's here at the Smithsonian beyond the museums? But if you're using it off-site, it's not here, it's there. So really tricky language, tricky project, because when we added affiliates, you can see it off-site, and it became very dense. So the developer came up with a more sophisticated idea to have it filter for museums, filter for affiliates, filter for libraries and archives, and came up with this distance filter also. So what's close here on the mall, you're seeing large, you can click on the image and get more information or a video, or if you're off-site, you can put it on the 100-mile filter. So it actually works really well from anywhere. If your affiliate is close to you, you're going to see it closer on this sort of lines, like designating lines. At any rate, we had to be pretty flexible about how this went. The developers had ideas. Some of them worked. We really was collaborative with the developers. Nancy, Dana was in on it. And I think we finally got it to a place where it works really well. Test flight was really helpful. We did some testing, and it was very, very helpful. We found out the accuracy is not great, so it's not really good for wayfinding. But during some of that testing and just talking with people, I was working over at the castle with iPads at the castle, and I thought it might be a nice thing to have on iPads at the castle. And I would have people say, well, it's not quite accurate, but I've never seen anything like this before. So there was engagement, just sort of anecdotal. I had people say, yeah, I really do enjoy this.
Sorry, there's been a lot of work done on the app lately, so there was a large
Yeah.
update to download, but it'll be down in a second.
But it's that GPS issue, and as soon as you come in the building, the GPS is, it's a large frequency. It's not like an X-ray that goes right through the walls. It bounces off. So you can get it telling you the wrong direction. But generally, you're getting a sense of what's up and down this mall, looking at this sort of campus as a whole, and information that for the viewer, if you want to use a library, just call. This is open for you. You can use this. It's not only scientists doing research. You can come and do research also. Just to sort of, let people know there's a lot more behind the Smithsonian than just the museums. Like I said, I've suggested using it at the castle. It's kind of difficult. I had it on a stand for a while, and I'd come and, then something else would be on the iPad. So again, that marketing piece, there's like no pipeline to say, okay, this app's ready to go. Where's the graphics department? Okay. Thank you, Dana. Thanks so much.
Are you sleeping right now? No?
So I'm trying to keep it in my 5 minutes too, because Dana's got a lot to talk about. All right, thanks. So you can get a sense of,
Here we are.
there's NMAI. I mean, it's connected to the latitude and longitude. Slight explanation of what people are seeing, what's inside, links that take you to video or whatever. And you can see the different models. If we go to the 1,000-mile, the filter, filters, there's the affiliates. So Dana worked really hard on this. We repurposed a lot of content just to keep it simple. Some of the icons that libraries had already chosen to represent their libraries, I just used that. Some of the copy to make it go faster, but that's basically it. I think an important thing about AR is that it's a sort of a way of thinking that I see coming, where people are associating information with an object or a place. People are coming to expect it. I think it's sort of leading towards the idea of ubiquitous computing, where the information is everywhere and you're drawing what you need rather than looking at a screen that has stuff coming to it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's a way, I think AR really is a way of thinking, and it's tied in with image recognition, where you can recognize something and get information. To me, there's a big distinction between image recognition and then you're looking at a screen, and AR, which is actually sort of putting it in the real world. Between you and what you're seeing in the real world, there's data. So, you know, I consider it a success in that way. It's, you know, it's not any great illusion or anything, but it's an interesting thing for people to start thinking in a different way. So, okay.
I just want to take a moment to put in a little plug, and again, thanks to Laurie. Laurie was a volunteer working with me at the time that she came up with the idea for that AR application in the Smithsonian Mobile app. She wrote the grant proposal herself. We put it in on a wing and a prayer, thinking, we're not going to get this money, and by God, we got it, and it was the biggest grant the Women's Committee awarded that year. So volunteers make a big, big difference at the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
You especially, Laurie. Thank you.
Thank you, Laurie.
Okay, great.